Hey,
Hi,
welcome.
Crystal.
Welcome,
Thank
welcome,
you.
welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, Mrs. Roshonda Russell. How are you doing today?
I am doing wonderful.
Good. You look good, girl. You look
Thank
good.
you. Thank you very much. You do too. You do too.
Thanks, girl. I feel like I look real light skinned today.
The
My
snow has
version of
everybody turning. Wintertime makes me get maybe 2 or 3 shades lighter than I normally am. So my foundation has to change. Everything has to change when wintertime comes.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I'm light anyway. Even in the summertime,
Yeah.
I just be a little like light skin toast color.
Right, right.
But wintertime, baby, oh my goodness. I just feel like on camera, I'm like real light. Um, so welcome again. Hey everybody that's joining. Hey. Hey YouTube, hey Facebook, business page, personal page. I'm just gonna take a moment real quick to share. We have one more wife, Mrs. Siobhan Moore, who's gonna hop on with us. But we're having a few technical difficulties, so we're just gonna keep rolling. And when she hops in, then we'll get her in. Roshonda, let me tag you in this video.
Okay.
Actually, while I'm doing that, Roshonda, would you like to begin
Yes.
talking about yourself? Tell us about you and how amazing you are.
Oh, that's very well, I'll tell you. I am not sure how to brag on myself, but I can tell you about what I do, and some of the things that we've been featured in. So, my name is Roshonda Russell. I am the co-founder of Park Place Realty. It is a Black-owned real estate brokerage. We're based in Matson, Illinois. And we service residential, commercial, and rental. So we can assist you with your real estate needs in the state of Illinois. And so we have a team of wonderful, professional, assertive, and attentive real estate agents that will be able to service you on your real estate needs as well. I am also the vice president of 850 Club Credit Consultation. It is a credit consulting company where we help individuals boost their credit scores to qualify for home ownership. So if you currently don't qualify based on your credit score, then we assist you with that as well. So we have a team of individuals. Our staff is at the 850 Club office where we're able to assist you nationwide, whether you're in the state of Illinois or you anywhere in the United States to assist you with that.
Yes, ma'am.
Um,
Come
yeah,
on, keep going, keep on, keep rolling.
that's my bread and butter at this moment. I mean, there's other things. I have a family travel blog that I work with often, and we basically just document our travel. And we work with partners to bring different things to the table to help families plan their trips or plan different things that's family oriented and family related. So that's just travelwiththeRussells.com. And basically that stemmed from me having, hey, Siobhan.
Hi, I'm back. Okay.
And so that basically just stemmed from me having Calvin, which is our son, Calvin the third. He's currently 6 years old. And about 4 years ago, I started Travel with the Russells to help document our travel journey as we went through and through. So we partner with brands like Marriott and the different hotel chains to travel. As we travel, we document that process, and we get it to partner with different brands to assist us with that.
Yes, it's been amazing watching you all grow from. I remember, so Roshonda and I have been friends for a long time. We have worked together professionally. Like I am a client of 850 Club, getting that credit together, and watching them grow from when they first started to now has been amazing. I'm just so proud. Every time they share something, they have their real estate brokerage now, and I just like those my friends. Those are my friends. Thank
Right.
you. Thank you.
Thank
So I
you.
brag about you all the time. I'm so proud of y'all.
Thank you.
So I didn't get a chance to introduce myself, but before we go into why we're here, I want Mrs. Siobhan Moore to go ahead and tell us about herself.
Hi. So, just really quickly, I am, of course, a wife. That's why I'm here, and a mother. I work full time in finance, and I like reading and binge watching Netflix in my free time. And I'm really like outdoorsy, very much a free spirit, and I'm just like really overall like very try to be supportive and be a part of anything that my loved ones are working on. I really like to help out and be available.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. The secret weapon. Okay. So Siobhan, Mrs. Moore, she and her husband and my husband, Jay and Omar, they are really good friends. They have been creating together and been on scenes together. And all of that creative film stuff, they have been like bonding. Omar was in our wedding, and of course Roshonda was in our wedding too. I think I mentioned that. You were my matron.
We sat at the same table.
Huh?
I said we sat together, me and
Yes,
Roshonda.
you did. Yes, yeah, I forgot all about that. Yes, I did sit you all together because boss minds need to be in the same space together. So that was definitely intentional. Yeah, so our husbands are, like I said, they are in the same creative space. And when I met Siobhan, I was like, I like that girl. She is amazing. And whenever we, all three of us, whenever we are with our husbands or our husbands are doing something, we right there with them. So I thought that it would be amazing to kind of blend boss with bossette. I believe that behind every boss man is a bossette. Like there's a woman who is keeping the stuff together. Period. So I know for sure that Roshonda is a secret weapon. I know for sure that Siobhan is a secret weapon. So I just love to see Black love, love to see Black relationships, and women like genuinely supporting their husbands, and husbands genuinely supporting their wives in whatever capacity. It's just like, it's a beautiful thing, and nobody does it like Black love. So for me, I am Mrs. Crystal Iris Davis. I am the creator of the Bossette Academy. I want to thank you all so much for being here. Of course, I help women to break their own barriers in relationships so that they can live a happy life. I want them to have more love and more meaning and more purpose and more passion in their life. And I believe that in order to have that, you need to cultivate some positive and healthy relationships in your life. And people who are not in alignment with you need to get kicked out of your life. Sounds a little bit harsh, but it's the truth. And I believe that personally and professionally. When they are not aligned with what your values are and where you're trying to go, they need to bounce. The other thing, like, it's getting close to Valentine's Day, and my DMs have been like off the chain with women who are nervous about dating, women who are frustrated with dating. And I was like, you know what? Let me just bring my girls together. Let's have this wife chat and have this conversation, because obviously, like, we have journeyed into becoming wives, and we weren't always a wife, right? We had to transition into being that. So I wanted to talk to you all and see like what barriers you might have had going into it and all of those wonderful things. So we've asked you who you were and what, you told us about yourself. So how did you all, or who were you before you got married? And anybody can just kind of hop in, like.
I'll go first. because I know Rashonda is like so prepared.
It's really off
So
the top of my head because I mean, I
you're
know it.
so good. I was listening to you like talk about Park Place and everything. I was like so impressed. But
Thanks.
before, so Omar and I started dating ways back. So I was really young when we met, and so before I got married, I don't want to say I was like city girl, but I was a party girl. I will say that I was a mother, but I was a young mother, and I still had a life. So I was still out here in these streets partying, and that's actually where I met Omar. So that's what I was doing before I got married. Yeah, him and Jay, that's their favorite thing to say. They got us out these streets, girl.
Yeah. Outside. Okay, so for me, a bit of the opposite. I was working 2 jobs. I was going to school. We were in college. So had that going. We were living together at the time. We met at 16 and we became roommates at 19, I want to say. So at 19, we moved in together. Basically, how that happened, I had a roommate situation that didn't really work well my freshman year. I said I wasn't going to do the sophomore year. So instead of me having, a girlfriend stay with me, we had already been together 3 years from high school. So we just decided to ditch the dorms and just move in together. So we moved in together at 19. And so about the age of 22, well, 21, he proposed. 22, I was married. So what was I doing prior to then? I was already in a committed relationship for 5 or 6 years. So I was doing the same thing I've been doing now. Like I still go out, I still party, we still have a good time together. We're considered, young. We're about the same age. I think everybody is about the same age, but we still go out, we still club hop, we still do all that stuff we did prior to us getting married. So it's basically the same thing for me. But where was I before we literally tied the knot? I was working 2 jobs. I was in college. She was in college. We were living together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Siobhan, was there something else that you wanted to add?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard you like say something and then okay. So where was I? I was out here in these streets. I was out here in these streets. Okay, listen, I enjoyed my dating life. I really did. Even when the stuff didn't work out, I used it as a lesson, and I took that lesson and I applied it to my next experience. So I had a good time. I remember like Roshonda and Calvin have been around for like the last few dating experiences I had before. And sometimes I would let them meet somebody and they would be like, nope, next. No. So I had it from my friend perspective, but I also had it from her husband's perspective. And he was just like, no. And I it felt good because they would always ask like permission to give me feedback. It wasn't just like they just blurted it out like, girl, no. It would be like real respectful. So they would either wait for me to ask, like, so what you think, or they would say, you want feedback? Like, do you mind? Well, do you want to hear from Calvin? So it was just so I appreciated them as friends for doing that for me. I remember Roshonda one time was like, I just feel like I don't want to judge people. Roshonda, you was so funny. I don't want to judge people, but I just feel like you're here and they're here. And I just don't think it's gonna work.
It's difficult to be in a relationship as long as I've been in a relationship, and I don't have a lot of dating experiences, right? So for me, it's very important to not judge someone else's relationship, because what you're willing to put up with, I might not put up with, or what I'm willing to put up with, you might not put up with. You know what I'm saying? And for me, and I'm sure we're going to go into this, but just a little bit of it, it's more so for me by saying, a lot of people, how did you know this is this? You know, we were young, so people nowadays are like, oh, I wouldn't date anybody that doesn't have a car, or I wouldn't date anybody that doesn't, like, we didn't have that. So for you, for me, it was a good, more so investment journey. We invested in each other, and I can see wherever someone is and they're like, okay, this might be a good investment. I don't know. Or maybe I've invested too much. So I don't know. But it's almost like as you get older, you have to meet in some sort of capacity, right? Whether that's mental, not really anything tangible. You know, maybe there's no car, maybe there's no home, but there's an apartment. You know, somewhere you got to meet as you get older. But I'm just so hesitant to judge someone else's relationship, because you might love that. So what do you like about them?
What I will say is that most of the time, it was definitely confirmation that I would hear from you all. I will admit that, because the next time. The next time you talk to me, you'll be like, so how's so-and-so doing? Girl.
And that's so true. But you're different like that, though, because some people will tell you about somebody in a relationship, and then like a week later you'll follow up and they're like back hunky-dory, like nothing ever happened. And you're like, girl, he just walked out on you. He just, you know what I'm saying? And all the rest of this stuff, you know, that you just talked about. But now you guys, but you are the type of person that's really done. Like when you're done, you're done. So and I'm like, whoa, Marcy, she's done. And she's like, on to the next person. Like, Rashawn, I'm just done.
Yes. I was really done. Hi, Patrice.
Hi, Patrice.
Siobhan, have you ever been in situations like that? Like, what was your dating experiences leading up to it? I know you said like you was out here in these streets, but like, were you quick to forgive? Were you like, no, I'm done with you? Like, what?
No. So I had a child, I would say not at a young high school age, but I did have a child early in my early 20s. So I was very much a serial dater. I wasn't like settling down really easily or really quickly. I very much was filling out the scene, and if I wasn't filling you out, young Lori Harvey.
I love it. Okay. Yeah. You know, people are like really going in on Lori Harvey, and I'm like, she's doing it right.
She's doing what she's supposed to be doing at her age. She's young. She doesn't have any children, you know, child's fathers, that type of stuff to deal with. Live your life.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Roshonda touched on it a little bit, but Siobhan, how did you know that you were ready for marriage?
Oh, it's really, so Omar and I dated a while before we got married. So I think like absolutely, I just got tired of the word boyfriend. I was over it. And people would ask about, and it was like when you fill out your emergency contact paper and it's like, who's your emergency contact? Omar Moore, relationship.
Boyfriend.
So I was just over it. Yeah. Quick and to the point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Roshonda, was there anything that you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, no, I felt the same way. I felt the exact same way. I didn't feel like, I know I was 21, right? Like 20, 21. I didn't want to be called girlfriend. And I didn't want to be, if I am, because I was, your girlfriend, I didn't want you to then start calling me something else, because then you started to call me like wifey and, you know, stuff like that, but you didn't propose to me. I don't like playing games like that, because I'm very I consider myself, like you said, an amazing asset. So from early on, I already knew, like, okay, this has to be going somewhere. This cannot keep doing this. And even at the age of 20, I'm just like, you know, where do we, so I think I told you, or I said this before, how we got to that level, or are we on that question yet?
No, go ahead. Keep flowing. Go ahead.
Okay. So one night we were in our room in our apartment, and I'm just like, you know, where is this going for you? And this is at 20. And I'm like, you know, we've been together for about 3.5 years, and I just don't want to be a girlfriend. I mean, I could get pregnant any day. I could get this, I could get that. Like, I had these different type of things that I wanted for myself and how I wanted myself to flow in life. And so, you know, he told me he didn't have any money, or he didn't think that he could even afford a ring, or he didn't have, you know, we were struggling, you know, college kids. So he didn't even think about how he could possibly provide for me, or what the whole marriage thing should look like when you get married. And I was telling him, like, honestly, I really don't care about that type of stuff. I just don't want to continuously being like your girlfriend for umpteenth years. Like, so after we had that conversation, it wasn't a short while after that he proposed.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I think it's important to make sure that your intentions are clear.
Absolutely.
Clear.
Because although Omar and I were together for a while, I always knew we were together. Like, I knew we were in it for the long haul, not just we dating until something happened. So even though, like Roshan was like, put a ring on it early, I didn't have the same, we need to be married early, but I definitely knew that I was not sticking around on a hope and a wish and a dream. I definitely knew that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because my thing was, for me, I didn't know what else was out there, because, you know, I'm young. I'm not a cheater, or, you know, I don't just, you know what I'm saying? So if you're telling me, hey, we're in this committed relationship, you're starting to call me, you know, acronyms like I'm a wife, you're tying me down. But I think that's the highest form of a commitment, right? Other than a child, is, you know, to get married. So I don't want to be tied down. Like, like, I want to know if you're for real or not, because there's other people, you know what I'm saying, out here that I haven't, you know, people were saying, oh, you guys are so young. Why would you get married so young? You haven't tried, you haven't done, you haven't met, you haven't seen, you haven't. And I'm like, well, I need to know if you're serious or not, because we can act. I mean, so yeah.
Yes. Miss Patrice says, facts, no hopes and wishes. As a woman, we need to know our worth, or we know our worth. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think it's impressive that you all were able to have that early on, because I know that I had my first love early on, and he wanted marriage and all of this stuff, and I was like, baby, I'm going to school. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And there were some other things that came up that helped me to realize, like, yeah, you're not the one. But we were like so in love at that time where I probably could have gotten married had I not had a wake up call. And I probably would have been divorced by now. So thank God for deliverance. But I think it's so cool, y'all relationships, Roshando, from the beginning, you know, and hearing, you know, that Calvin was worried about not having the money, not having enough money. Like, how am I going to support a wife, and how are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? And then to see how you guys have grown. You all just had your 10-year wedding anniversary last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like how much you all have grown. You have a baby now. You all are successful. You have your own businesses and y'all rocking it. And so I think that's so beautiful. It's so beautiful to see that. And yeah, I agree. Like I knew that Jay was for me because he was very clear on his intentions too. His language and everything from the beginning was on point. It was about a we, a us. He was very clear. When I say, Jay, I think you're going all the way to the top. Like you the bomb. I'm so proud of you. You know, Black man living out your life and on purpose with intention. You know, that's nice. He said usually people will respond to that with meet me there or beat me there. No, Jay was like, are you coming with me? Hell yeah, I'm coming with you. Yes, I will be right there with you. His everything about him was completely different. And I just knew. Like he moved expeditiously. He didn't play around. He was very clear. And that's just how it was. And I knew, and he was very much so like me. I was talking to him about his business stuff. He was talking to me about my business stuff. And it just flowed. We just knew. So that was good stuff. How did you know your husband was ready?
Well, I knew. Well, Omar and I, like, we moved into our second home together, and soon after that, he started sending me pictures of rings. And asking like, would you wear this and would you like this type of ring? And so I just made sure I had my nails done from there on.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, not get caught out here in these streets with no nails on. Yep. Were there any barriers that you had to break prior to getting married? If so, what were they?
For me, it was really important that I was able to take care of myself and my child before I entered into, you know, a wedding or marriage or whatever. And once I felt, you know, independent, even though I was in a relationship, I was still independent, able to make moves on my own and not ask for things, you know, I just felt confident that if things didn't work out between the two of us, I would be okay. And after I figured that out, I think that was really one of the only things. And then Omar is very busy and very, like, early on, it was a lot to get used to. Because you feel like, oh, you know, coming to terms with that he just had, if you want a successful person, you have to share them with their business. And so I had to get into that.
Yeah. You just hit something right there. That is key. I think I had some understanding. Well, I'm in my head. I think I had some understanding because I too was an entrepreneur. And so I understood, but I was also interested in what he was doing. So I was like, oh, how can I help? You know, like he's in film and screenwriting, and my sister also is in the same field. So I was already dibbing and dabbling in that. When I had my nonprofit organization, I was making plays, and I had been hosting different play productions and you know, on set a few times and things like that. So it's always been in me. So I was interested in what he had to do. And I was like, oh, you know what? And I love personal branding and stuff like that. So I'm like, how can we make it bigger? How can we make it better? So that's how I was able to kind of accept that he was busy. And he also didn't make me feel that I wasn't a priority, because that was my question at the very beginning. I said, I know that you are a productive person, and I know that you have a lot of things going on, but I'm letting you know I need to be number one. I'm the priority. And he was like, you will always be priority. And he has kept his promise. I'm always priority. Jay checks with me to see if, before he schedules something, he checks with me to make sure that it's okay. Right. I'm like, he said, do we have anything going on? Let me check my schedule. Look, we got something planned, you know. So that's kind of how we work together. It was just having the understanding of each other's having respect for each other's role as individuals, but also what we wanted to do collectively in each other's businesses. So I think that was really important. Siobhan, what? Because Omar got a lot of stuff going on. I've seen you and talk about Omar's stuff and all of that good stuff.
So Omar co-founded a nonprofit organization. It's called the Circle Foundation. That's www.circlefound.org. And so they run a high school and many mentoring programs, many programs. So
is that him laughing in the background? He needs to go sit down.
So in addition to running the school, he has his comic books. So he just finished his 4th installment with BLE Blacklight Entertainment Comics, and that's www.blecomics.com. He just finished his 4th installment of The New Knights. He's working on his 5th. He's also just established Blacklight Entertainment Cinema. So he does that with Jay. They have a Reckless Enlightenment event coming up February 27th.
Oh.
And starting a short horror film this month. So we're working on 2 films right now.
Good. What is your how do you support and help?
I just make sure that he's on top of his game. He, like I say, he has a lot of things going on. If he sits down for 1 second, he can just really get behind. So I just make sure he's on his game. I'm quality control over, so you know, we're not putting out anything that's not up to par. Brutally honest. He likes that about me. I remind him of his grandmother in that way. So yeah, and just making sure that everything else is taken care of so he doesn't have anything to worry about at home.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. Come on, Roshonda. What barriers did you have to break prior to getting married? Or was it something that you wanted to add to that? Because I know that you definitely are the secret weapon to all things.
Right. So barriers prior to getting married, I don't think I had any. I mean, I don't know, it just flowed. It went from dating, girlfriend, fiance, wife. We do the same thing we were doing throughout. Okay. Mm-hmm. And what was the other question?
Well, Siobhan has started talking about we were talking about like their businesses. Like she had to learn how to accept that if you want a successful person in your life, then you had to, yeah. Right. I know that you wanted to talk
about right. Okay. So we're talking about so we're talking about a busy man. You know, when your spouse is busy, that means if they're doing the right thing, they won't be broke. Right. Or when you're talking about a man that is a little bit more relaxed, then typically the funds are relaxed too. Right. So to me, it's more so about whether or not you're focused on the right endeavor that's generating income. So I'm all about generating income. I'm all about steady flowing passive income and generating income activities. So we don't have hobbies, not yet, only because our revenue to me isn't at the point now. We watch our shows, we do things like that, but do we have a hobby that takes time away from the family for hours or an hour without us actually making revenue? No, we don't. And so for that reason, when we're busy, we're actually producing, there's some income that's going to come from this. So with that being said, as far as handling the business part of it, I would probably say probably in the beginning stages, maybe about 4 years ago, I was considered a secret weapon. But now I'm full in, right? So I'm partnered. So before I was more so doing things to assist. So, this, you did that. Oh, I think you should do this. Oh, maybe you should craft it this way. But now I'm in the business. So, and when you come into it from that perspective, for me, I had to learn his industry. I had to master his industry and show him that I knew what I was talking about in that specific industry. At the time, 850 Club. And so that's all about credit, understanding the marketing side of it, understanding what the clients want, what they need, how to train the team, how to create an employee manual, how to go about doing everything to structure it so it can start producing more passive income. Okay. So for me, that's what it was mainly all about, being kind of like, oh, okay, well, it went from me just giving you advice to me actually diving into it, spending hours and hours and hours within the business, learning the business, and then becoming vice president of the business. So now I'm partnered. And then with Park Place, right? Because,
I love my friend. Come on,
Ross. I'm more so like co-founder because 850 Club was his vision. So I took the thought process of his vision and created a system so then that way he can free himself to do other things that I think should have been done earlier. So I always told him like, hey, you should really not focus on things that are manual. You should focus on things that are thought-provoking. And so when we got into thought-provoking mannerisms where you can now, okay, let's hire people to do the action of, your thoughts, and then you focus on the thought-provoking task, then we were able to go into a different business, which is now real estate. So now I'm the co-founder of real estate because we both founded that business together. And then in that sense, we work hand in hand to create systems and structures and things like that for the team. And that's what we currently do right now. Hopefully that answered your question. I think
it did. So one thing that is sticking out to me was that, because, like, people need credit repair and they need services done. I know, like, Jay and Omar be talking on the phone, like,
who gonna pay for what?
girl, they be on the phone for hours and hours. Like, I'll fall asleep and I wake up at midnight and they on the phone talking. I'm like, what are y'all talking about?
Right.
And they talking about projects and things like that. And I'm just like, okay. So being able to like accept that, like, at what point, like, it's okay to be productive. If you're being productive and your mind and your work ethic is in the right place, yes, keep being busy because we need the money. Like, give me the stuff that's making the money. That's kind of where I am with Jay too. Every day I'm like, I need you to put me in luxury. Like, put me in luxury. And I say that all the time, not as a joke, but seriously, so when I feel like, I'm like, when I feel like he's not giving me enough attention or something, I'll say, could you like pay me attention or something? And he'll say, I'm trying to put you in luxury. You know what? Do you keep doing it, and then I also have like the different ideas and stuff. I'm like, okay, we need to go into consultation because you're talking to people too long on the phone and you're giving them too much of your mindset. We need to monetize that. Everything in 2021 is about the money. We're not playing these games anymore. I know that you're nice and sweet, but we're not doing that. Okay, we're about business. People are charging him to, like, you know, to do certain things and to produce certain things for them to show up on set. They're charging. Okay, that's taking money out of the household, baby. We need to generate more income. So keep doing it. But let's talk about how we're about to monetize this even more, because
right,
it's about the money. Okay, let's just stop playing around. So there are some things that, like, Jay hasn't even thought about, and I'm like, that's money, that's income. You could do this, you could do that, you could do that. And
yeah, and that's what it is. It's about taking, you know, for me, I was already doing something else that was generating income. However, it wasn't generating as much income. So we decided to team up and really focus and hone in, and then take training courses together and really dive into creating and structuring the business, so then it can start creating systems and automations and leverage and employees and things of that sort. But prior to then, it was just a wheel spinning. Yeah. I mean, you can go into a cycle where it's just continuously spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning, and you find yourself doing the same thing over and over and over again, and really not producing the revenue that you're looking to produce, that maybe a course can come out from, where we launched Elite University, which is a DIY credit repair program where you can do it yourself. And you pay monthly from that. So that takes care of my car note. It's what can you do that's going to be maybe a generating income that could just happen one time. So with that being said, it's mainly just about supporting each other ideas. I'm sure if my business was making the most money, we would all be over there. But at the time it wasn't. And I really wanted growth. Like, I really wanted financial growth for the family, and I wanted financial growth for us. So I'm like, listen, what do we need to run with? Let's run together. And we literally ran. And this is, you know, we're not even where we want to be yet, but we see a little bit more light. You know, like,
okay, come on, sis.
Yeah, it's not there yet, but we're working on it.
Yes, I like it. So let's kind of switch gears a little bit. What would you share with single women who are struggling in dating, or who's struggling in relationships, who desire marriage but they like frustrated? What advice would you give to them?
Go ahead, Siobhan.
Oh, I guess I would just say that I would ask, are they being honest with themselves about what they have to bring to the table and what it is that they're looking for? I know a lot of women have an idea of a man that they want to be with, or they think they want to be with, but they're not willing or ready to do what it takes to be with that type of man. You know, like, it's, you know, really popular to want an alpha male, right? But with an alpha male comes the word that most women hate, submission. So it's just a lot of women out here thinking that they want something, and they don't have anything to give in return a lot of times. Or they want it so much. Or maybe they, you know, he has to be, you know, tall, dark, handsome, and paid, and pay my car note and pay my rent, and they can't pay their rent themselves, or they don't cook, or they don't clean. So it's like, if he's doing all of these things, like, what is it that what are you going to bring to the table? So I think you just have to be honest about what it is that you have to offer, and what it takes to be with the type of man that you are seeking, or the type of man you're trying to attract, not seeking, the type of man that you are trying to attract.
That is so true.
You're so classy, Siobhan.
I know, like, women, they always, you know, it's the alpha male. That's the real popular thing right now. And it takes a lot to be with a boss man. Knowing when to step up, knowing when to step back. You know what I'm saying? Knowing when you in charge and knowing when they should take the lead. And sometimes, especially independent women, a lot of Black women, we educated, very, very educated. And it's hard to take orders, or not even take orders, but it's hard to take the lead because you are so much, you're very capable of doing it on your own. You're used to doing it on your own, and you don't trust enough to let go of your power. I think women need to trust themselves more, also. To,
that was a lot, yeah.
but I think
Omar.
to trust their decision making too. Like if you get in a situation and it's not for you, like Roshana said, Crystal didn't have a problem bouncing. So a lot of times we stick around for potential that we hoping will come about, and it's not there.
Woo! I be talking to my boss and ladies all the time, baby. We not doing potential, you know. They be like, but he has so much potential. Like he treats me good here, but it's just this one part. He's not it. Bounce. He's not it. I made a boyfriend checklist, and I need all of those things on there and then some to be marked off. The only person that was able to mark off all of that stuff was Jay. That's how I knew. I'm not doing no potential. I don't have time for that. That's draining.
Sips tea.
You got it, you don't.
I feel like a lot of people just need to stop with the couple goals. That's probably the worst for anyone that's seeking to do anything with a relationship, only because you really don't know what's happening, right? Because no one's sharing the ins and outs. Nobody's really sharing what's going on behind closed doors. And what you may deem as a really nice photo, right, is really them being horrible to each other prior to that photo even happening. And you know what I'm saying? It could be a real volatile relationship, and you're trying to mimic someone else's relationship without doing what you need to do within your own relationship to make each other happy. That's key. Number 2, stop telling people your business. Okay? Because you having an argument with your, with your man, or a man, you're having an argument with your lady, and then you get on the phone telling your best friend what happened. Here's what you got to know. Friends and family members they hold on to the resentment. They hold on to the grudges way longer than you. So now you're bringing, right? So
I do that.
Alex back over, and they're like, I don't mess with him no more. Like, remember when they're constantly reminding you of something that you talked to him about over pillow talk. Y'all did what y'all did. You over it. They still holding on to the same grudges, and they will not let you let it go when you're trying to repair something that probably, is now small to you. You know what I'm saying? But at the time it was big. At the time you were hurt enough to talk about it. That's a no-no. That's something that I personally don't do in my relationship. And it's helped a lot because we started off really young. I mean, not really. I mean, it was at 16, but we started off young. And in the sense, we got married at 22. But we started off with people already telling us it was going to last because we were young. People already was telling us, oh, you're in college, you're going to see a lot of girls, Calvin, whatever the case may be. So we had already formed this kind of like tight-knit bond with each other. We got evicted from a place before. We been broke before. We didn't had to sleep on the floor together. We were tight. So in that sense, somebody from outside, I don't care how long we've known each other, unless he's abusing me, there's nothing I'm going to be telling you about Calvin. You get what I'm saying? Even if he irked the hell out of me, I may have irked the hell out of him. he's not going to go tell one of his best friends about what happened, because it's what do you call it, the trust level has been broken, and I'm all about loyalty. So it's, to me, that's going to be the number two thing. If you're having an argument within your relationship, definitely don't go out. Keep everything in your house that happens in your house, unless it's abusive, you need to call the police, something like that. But couples goals, and then talking outside your relationship. Work on
Keep
it.
outsiders outside your relationship.
Yep.
I have a good friend who says, vent to God and then talk to your man.
I like that.
Word to Andrea.
Yeah, absolutely.
God, and then talk to your man.
Yeah, you got to talk it out. You got to talk it out. Communication is key. Like, hey, I don't really feel like we're having a good connection. Like, I'll say that. Like, hey, I don't really feel like we're having a good connection right now. We're not really connected right now. And that's not even like, that could mean so much. But what I'm basically saying is, I need to communicate more with you. I need to get in your head, because we're not really connected right now. So then we'll sit down and we'll have a conversation about why we feel like we're not connected. Because being business together and trying to separate that when you come home for dinner and not talk about the business again. And then at night when we're working, we have to talk about the business again. So you really have to find out, if you are in we're talking about business and spouses. So where you're talking about it on that level, you have to have some sort of separation. So then that way you can stay connected. So we take a lot of trips together. We go on a lot of trips. We dip off.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so Leah, how do you separate business from the obviously romance part? Like, how do you cultivate and make sure that you are the role in business and you are the role as mom and as wife? Like, how do you separate? What's the boundaries?
Mm-hmm. Oh, for me?
Or for both of you? Well, I know you said, Roshonda, that you take, y'all take trips and stuff.
Right.
But how else do you have you established any rules or boundaries where it's like, like this time we're not talking about work? How does that look?
Right. So we definitely have boundaries. We put our phones to the side during dinner time and during family time, which is about 3 hours. So about 8:30 or so, 5 to 8:30. We don't have our phones. We just focus on family time, playing games, whatever we need to do. Especially with COVID, everybody been at home. We try to do that. And then we pick it back up either at night, or we don't, if we're not working at night, we don't talk about work again until the morning. And we have now scheduled time throughout the day between 8 and 5 to talk about work. So once we get done with our team meeting, then we call each other and we talk about our meeting together. And having it during the day is the most productive for us, because then we won't be bringing it home.
I like that.
For us, it's really simple. We have office space when we talk about work in the office. If Omar is in the office, that means he's working. And if I don't want to talk about work, I don't go in the office. I don't go in the office unless I'm talking about work.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about work in the office. Outside of the office, it's all
really
about
good.
us. So it's
That's
just the boundary is a closed door.
I like that. I like that. I don't know if Jay and I necessarily have boundaries. I'll just tell him that I need his time. And that's just it. And the reason why is because like I've been in school, so like my mind is like focused. Like I don't have time to think or talk about nothing else. I'm just like dissertation. I'm about to finish this up. So that's where my mind is. And after that, I'd be so tired, I'll go to sleep and Jay will still be up writing. Also, I try to respect his creativity because that is not cut and dry. If something is on his mind where it's like a sketch or something, he has to get it out right now. And so I didn't want to establish like a time boundary when I have to respect his creative process and allow that to flow as it comes. Because sometimes I'm the same way with BYOB. If I got some inspiration, I'm about to create a product right now. Like I need to create this project. Leave me alone. I'll talk to you when I finish this. So I think just having that conversation, like, hey, I need your time, you know, or Jay will say, hey, I want you to watch this movie. Jay is movie all day. I am not a TV watcher. I don't watch movies like that. Jay has gotten me to watch the most TV I have ever watched in my entire life. Probably all together, I've watched the most since we've been together. Like what, 2.5 years now? I don't do that. But when we're focused, we're just focused, and just being able to establish, hey, I need your time right now, you know, or I'll say, I can't watch the movie right now, I'm working, like, leave me alone. And he'll say the same thing. And then it's like, when the time permits, you know, or just simply saying, okay, give me 1 hour. Like we'll say something like that. Give me 1 hour, give me 10 minutes, give me 15 minutes. And then it's like, okay. And I'll be sitting there timing him too. You said 15 minutes, so you need to hurry up with your last final thoughts. So that's always good. I always try to make sure that he has his meal. Yeah, that's a whole nother situation we're not about to get into, but but I try to be in my space, but also be with him too. So yeah.
We definitely keep separate spaces. So and we aren't, like, we do well, and like we can go all day. He's working on what he's working on, and I'm working on what I'm working on, and I can go to bed and he'll still be working. And it doesn't bother me, because I know, like Roshonda said, it's generating income.
Right.
And I'll just go to bed. And that's it. Like, I have people, you know, I have a good group of cousins that can take up my time, so I can allow him to do his thing. Yeah. I think it's important to have people also.
Yeah, get you some friends. Like, people need friends. People need friends. They need their own projects and stuff like that, because I've been with somebody before Jay, where they wanted all of my time, and I'm like, I'm a busy person. Like, I got stuff to do. I run businesses and I'm in school. Leave me alone. And when that person is not busy, oh my gosh, they could just be so draining. I'm like, I need you to be busy. Like, get you some business or something. Yeah, that's crazy. We are past our hour. Do you all have a little bit of time? Want to take questions if there are any, or y'all? Y'all have time? Y'all good? Okay. So if you all want to start asking questions, you are more. You can ask questions on Facebook. You can ask questions on YouTube. If you have any questions, feel free to, again, ask your questions to Mrs. Roshonda Russell, or you can ask questions to Mrs. Siobhan Moore.
Yes, I think that was super key. What you were saying too, Siobhan, is about being able to just, you know, hey, this is going to be a late night for him to go ahead and, you know, go to bed or do something else. I think one of the cool things about when there's going to be like a late night on a project that he's particularly working on, he tucks me in the bed, like literally. And so I'm good. He makes sure that I'm good for the night, and then he goes and does his project. So I like that. That's, you know, a little bit,
that's so
little bit of care, you know, with that. But yeah, sometimes it's just gonna be late nights and early mornings. I mean, that's just a part of the business.
Yeah,
it really is. I have a lot of times where I have a big family, and they're always getting together. And a lot of times I show up alone, and they're just, because I want to be supportive, because they're very supportive of what we do. So when they're doing something, you know, I show up and they're like, where's Omar? And it's so hard for them to wrap their minds around the fact that he had to stay at home. I am here being the supportive wife. Like, I'm the support, like I'm representing both of us here today, and he's at home working. And it's really hard. Like, people want you and your mate to show up, like, and when you can do that, like when we can do that, like, it brings my heart so much joy. But a lot of times you have to just take one for the team.
Wow. Yeah, I think for the most part, like Jay and I tried to show up to important events at the same time, and if one of us can't make it, we typically both of us just won't make it, unless it's like intimate family stuff. Then it's like, yeah, somebody gotta go. Somebody needs to go. But I think for the most part, like, we try to, family is important for the both of us, and friends are important. So like when there's like different comedy shows and stuff like that, or they're on set or something, like, yeah, I tried to make it, and he tried to make it too. But you're right, sometimes it don't always work out.
I would like, you know, for important things like that, you put that on the calendar, you make plans, you know, to show up. But you know, we like to be where the money resides, so cannot really
Listen, I break it down, you know, stop asking me where Calvin is, okay? Because Calvin is doing what Calvin needs to do. Do you see? You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, Calvin is trying to do, you know. I mean, I don't know. We used to get that question. Maybe we did like years ago, but now you see the fruits of the labor. You see what I'm telling you, man. I mainly talk to my mom. I'm venting. I'll vent to my mom like, man, I'm exhausted. We did 3 a.m. Calvin woke up at 7, 4 hours. I had to do this. I had to, you know, baby Calvin. I had to get up and make him some breakfast and start his day. And this has been going on for 2 weeks now. I'm exhausted. She wouldn't dare ask me where Calvin is. You get what I'm saying? Because she understands what our goal is. Because I always tell her, we gotta hump this out this month, because this is blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm talking to them all the time. So when they're like, oh, what? I'm like, I'm doing business. Oh, okay. Move on. Let's go.
They're busy.
This isn't a 9 to 5. Our life is not
it's
a 9 to 5.
It's not.
We can hop in and out of a 9 to 5. He could come in at 2. He can take off for the day or whatever case may be. But he might put in 6 hours at night, or you know what I'm saying. So it's really there's not like a structured. When you're an entrepreneur, you doing things that needs to be done on a Saturday, or I'm working on Saturday or Sunday. I'm working to prepare for a team meeting on Monday. Like,
yes,
so.
Absolutely. I wanted to real quick just interrupt briefly. I don't see any questions coming in. Again, please feel free to drop your questions. I wanted to let you all know that the breakup party will be coming up soon, and enrollment into the Break Your Own Barriers 12-week program is also going to start dropping March 1st. Okay, so people have been asking me about when's the next breakup party. That is like the celebration. So when you hear like a breakup party, yeah, we talking about breakups, because I believe that when you break up with somebody, or break up with the things that don't serve you, there's an upside, there's an elevation, because you have released something from your life. And so now you're able to take that lesson, like I mentioned earlier, you can take that lesson and now apply it into your next level. So that upside is your next level. So when I say breakup party, we releasing everything. The last breakup party we had, people was releasing toxic relationships. They was releasing self-doubt, frustration, unforgiveness. It was just so dope. And so we're gonna roll that back out sometime within the next few months. But the BYOB 12-week program, it was 6 weeks. The ladies now want more, so it's 12 weeks now. That's going to start dropping on March 1st. So I'm super excited about those. In the meantime, I do have a quick little program that you can purchase. It's only $19. Only $19. There's a recording and a booklet to help you to start releasing toxic relationships. So all of us have, we were one person when we were married. Before we were married, and now we are some of us the same. Okay, Roshonda. Roshonda is exactly the same.
For the most part.
Devon and I have been delivered from the street. So listen, delivered from the streets, okay? You can purchase the booklet. It's in the chat box. You can purchase a booklet only for $19, and it will get you started on how to release those toxic relationships so that you can get to the man of your dreams, okay? And I'm all about manifesting, so I say manifest your man.
That's definitely key too, because when you're talking about journaling your thoughts or even just taking notes, and having a book like the one that you mentioned, to have that outlined and detailed so that you can create better structure within your own mentality for what you're looking for, whether that's girlfriends, or, whether you're looking for a relationship with a man. But I mean, that to me is just like any sort of relationship that you have going on, whether you have this type of barrier with food or with, exercise or with,
everything is a relationship. Yeah, everything has a relationship. And so I say release all that toxic mess. Whatever is toxic. We do have a comment from Andrea Jackson. She said, I don't have a question, just want to salute all the queens on here for being open and transparent and bringing positive conversations to the table. I enjoyed. Thank you.
Thank you, Drady.
Thank you.
And Siobhan, at some point, she said, my girl. She has laughing emojis and saying, my girl.
She is responsible for the vent to God and then talk to your man. That's how
I like it. I like it. I do not see any questions. Was there anything else that you ladies wanted to say? Any last comments or anything like that?
I just wanted to add that I think your book is great too, because you say you keep track of the things that are important to you and what you're looking for, and you can identify problems and issues quicker, faster, right away, because it's something that you're studying. So I think it's really great what you're doing. I wish you the best.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm all about change. I like change. I like progress. That's why I don't stay in places too long. That was actually a barrier I had to break going into marriage because I saw myself being married, but my parents have been married for 38 years now.
For them.
And sometimes I look at them and I be like, y'all still together? Y'all still together, huh? Okay.
No. So silly.
I like change. I like change. When I say I had to be very clear with Jay about the things that I liked, Jay told me that he was in love with me at the moment that I asked him, did he have a passport? I said, listen, I take flights. Do you have a passport? Because I leave. I travel. I do stuff. Like, I have fun. I like to do things. I like change. I'm an adrenaline junkie. I need something exciting all the time. I'm not the mundane person. Right. And Jay keeps things nice and fun for me. He keeps things nice and fun for me. So it's interesting for sure.
That's my job in a relationship.
Keep things nice and fun.
Yes.
Yeah, that's more so Calvin's thing now. And I was telling him, we should have did this earlier because well, he said we ain't had the money to do all the stuff. But what I'm saying is now he wants to go to really exotic places now. And I'm like, man, I really kind of did all that and dabbled in all that stuff in the 20s. Now we're in our 30s and he's trying to really kind of explore. But you know what? Hey, whatever. I'm down. I'm open to it because I don't like no boring relationship and we don't have one. So
Amen to
I'm
that.
happy with that. And I would leave off by saying I don't really know where everyone is that's listening. I don't really know what their goals are, if they're married, if they're not married. I would say just find out who you are, what
Amen.
you want in life, and the universe, right, will be attracted and become attracted to those things that you've put out. I was cleaning up and I saw a journal from like 2000 and journaling from like 2012. And there was things in there that I requested from very early on. I wanted, and I know everything doesn't, pan out the way you want it to be, but I have a set thing of the way that I wanted my life to be in different stages. And I align and present myself as such. So as wherever you are within your relationship status or wherever you want to be, just align yourself with the things that you want. It'll start coming to you when you start showing up in the way that you want to be presented. You want to attract money, then you don't have to go out and buy a Balenciaga bag, but you do have to take out, time on YouTube and maybe learn how to do your own makeup, right? So then when you go somewhere, you look sculpted and nice, if that's your thing. If you're really looking for a spouse and you want somebody that has a little bit more than what you currently have right now, then you need to present yourself in a way that would be attractable to someone that has a little bit more ends. Because if you going out with your hair, looking a certain way, and you a little not so attractive when you're going out the places that you're going out, you're going to attract those type of people. And it's just like, well, why am I attracting people that don't have any money or don't have a job? Or do I look like that? Am I like what?
Too approachable.
Roshonda, you're gonna have us on here for a whole nother hour because you in my sweet spot now.
Listen, you have to show up in the way that you want the universe to present to you. I want the universe to present to me a certain way. So I'm going to show up. And I've been showing up as that. People called me bougie when I didn't have no money. So guess what? I was just showing up in the way that I did myself. You get what I'm saying? And bougie could be a negative term or it could be a positive term. But what I'm saying is people or the universe will start aligning your life up based on how you think of yourself.
Energy, yeah, absolutely. You talked about how you had wrote some stuff down like years ago. I literally have notebooks and I have like magazine cuttings and that I put all of my pictures in. And I wrote my own articles and everything like that. And it talks about my husband and the type of person that I would be with. And they even use the term that my husband would be reckless and an entrepreneur and things like that. And I thought it was so crazy because y'all know Jay's brand is Reckless Enlightenment. I was like, hell no. I just picked it up like maybe a few weeks ago and was like, oh my God, I did this in undergrad. So that's what, 2009, 10, something like that. Crazy. It works. Don't have me go into a whole nother thing, Ro, because
listen.
I can talk about manifesting your man. We're gonna save that for another chat because we'll be on here for another hour. Stop playing with me. And I know Siobhan know all about that manifesting universe stuff too.
Absolutely. We 3 examples right here.
I'm telling you. Yes. So thank you all so much. We got to do this again because I can definitely go into that next topic easily for another hour. But it's Friday. I got to get to my man. Okay. gotta get to my husband. Y'all need to get to y'all husbands and all of that good stuff. So thank y'all. I really enjoyed this.
Thank you. You know, I was so like, what do you mean you want me to do this, child? No, but I'm happy I showed up for you, girl.
Yes, I am too. Thank you. It was fun for
It
sure.
was nice seeing you again, Roshonda.
Nice seeing you, Siobhan. You guys have a good night.
You have a good night.
They're saying thank you, ladies. Amazing.
Hey, Jamie. Hey, Patrice. Hey, Mom.
All right, and then one more thing. Again, just a reminder. The booklet, the Release Your Toxic Relationships booklet, is on sale right now for $19. The link is in the comments on YouTube and on Facebook. Please purchase it, okay? Because Lil Mama about to get her doctorate on March 1st. And my prices are going up. So I'm just saying, y'all better get in while you can, okay? Because it's going up, okay?
Right.
The price is going up. Love y'all. Talk to you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.